What's up, guys? It's ya boy Dekkster here, and as you guys probably know, there's a patch that's about to hit, and it's about time. These cards have been overpowered for quite a bit, and it's long overdue. So what are the nerfs? Well, we got Bonemare going from 7 mana to 8. We got Corridor Creeper going down to 2 attack, where it used to be 5. We got Raza the Chained, which now makes the hero power cost 1 instead of 0. And then we got patches no longer having charge. These are all great nerfs, and it's definitely going to shake up the meta. So I'm excited for, I don't know. I just feel like the meta has been a little bit stale. So just freshening up the meta is just something I'm totally on board for. If you guys don't know, once these get nerfed, you can get your full dust refund on these. So I definitely recommend, especially if you're a free-to-play player and you're tight on dust, if you made these cards, get your dust back, especially on patches, Raza and Corridor Creeper. I would definitely refund those and see how the meta changes, and then if you want the cards back later, even though they're nerfed, you can go ahead and reinvest your dust in them. But I will personally be disenchanting Raza, Corridor Creeper, and patches. Bonemare, not worth the 40 dust to me, so I'm probably just going to leave them. So I pulled some stats off of hsreplay.net, and these are the top 5 most played cards. And you can see Corridor Creeper is in 47% of decks. It was played 780,000 times. I think this was over a span of 10 days. And then second most is going to be patches, with about 37% of all decks running him. That's pretty insane. Saucy Captain, obviously directly correlated with patches. And then we have Bonemare at 27.6% of all decks. Raza is only a priest card, and I think he has a pretty high percentage as well, 14.6% of all decks, but obviously it's also only in priest decks, but he's probably played in over half of the priest decks. But I guess the point I'm making is it's going to make a big impact, and the meta is going to be changed a lot, which is definitely something exciting. If you think the game's getting a little boring, this is definitely going to spice things up. But yeah, let me go ahead and talk about each of these cards one by one. First, Bonemare going from 7 mana to 8 mana is probably the least devastating of all the nerfs. Bonemare was kind of an auto-include. I don't think he's really an auto-include anymore. He's still a decent card. He's not fantastic. You kind of got to decide if he's filling that 8 mana slot. Do you really want a Bonemare over a Lich King? I don't think so. I think definitely going to be seeing a lot less of Bonemares, because yeah, I can't see playing it over a Lich King. Maybe if you need a really top heavy deck, maybe you include one Bonemare or something like that. But as of right now, I don't see Bonemare being too popular anymore. What got hit harder than Bonemare is Corridor Creeper, down to 2 attack. This is quite a big nerf. I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, 5 attack was a lot. I thought maybe 3-5 would have been okay. This is gonna suck so bad if you draw it later on in the game. If you top deck this thing, you're out of cards, you're looking for that top deck, which happens a lot with aggro decks, actually. This is just going to be it's going to be pretty crappy, guys. I don't know. The only decks I can kind of see this still being used in is maybe Shaman, like Evolve Shaman. It's still, you can get it discounted and throw an Evolve on there. Maybe you get it out there with some Doppelgangsters and you hit them with an Evolve. I mean, only to get your whole board Psychic Screamed. So maybe Evolve Shaman's still not going to be a thing, but I could definitely see this being used if Evolve Shaman somehow does become a thing. Might still be used in Hunter. Hunter have a lot of, they got the minions that die a lot. So, I mean, and it's also a beast. Maybe you can Houndmaster it, So, probably see it being used in Hunter and in Shaman. But other decks, I think this one, this might be not too playable. All right, what else? We got Raza the Chained. 1 mana instead of 0 is insane, because the maximum damage done in 1 turn with Valen was upwards of 48. I think sometimes about 50 if you got the potion, the 1 mana potion that does, damage to 1 target. But from 48-ish to 14 in 1 turn. That's not near no TK at all. A lot of control decks you're trying to burst down will probably be able to out armor that or out heal it. So I think this is a pretty big nerf. I don't think Highlander is going to stop being played. I think it will stop being a high tier deck. Maybe it'll drop down tier 2, tier 3. Maybe they cut Velen, they add a little bit more healing. Maybe Holy Fire makes it back in the deck. I don't know. We'll see. A lot more healing and just more controlling. Maybe a more control-oriented priest will come out. Yeah, we'll see. That'd be fun. Control priest. We also got patches, which is the hugest nerf. The biggest nerf. The largest nerf of them all. But it's about time. Patches no longer has charge. I don't think he's going to be played. I'm going to dust this bad boy. I never want to see him again. But I'm happy he's getting nerfed instead of just cycled out, which everyone is expecting him to be cycled out. But this means he's not going to be used in Wild, right? So this is great news for Wild players as well, because you're not going to be seeing a lot of that patches. And I think a lot of pirate packages are going to start being cut from different decks. Zoo Warlock is not going to keep captains because of this. I don't think Temple Rogue is going to make it either. In the long run, I think people will try it, but who knows? Could be wrong. But that's kind of just my prediction about that. So I also pulled the top 3 decks from HS Replay as of the past 10 days, ranks 5 and above. We can see Aggro Paladin is actually running Patches and Creeper. So I think Aggro Paladin is going to be a little less popular, and now it's going to shift more towards Murloc. Maybe Murloc used to run Creeper, which they did, but it's okay. That can be filled with Blessing of Kings or a Maul, or maybe even a Finja comes back into the meta. I think Zoo Warlock is hit pretty hard by this nerf. Patches ran in the normal Zoolock as well as Bonemare and Creeper. So I think Zoolock's going to shift to something a little more demon-oriented, which is fitting. I like it. I like the idea. Not too sad for Zoo Warlock. I still think it's going to be a solid deck. Just once again, the demon-oriented version. Highlander Priest, just a 1-card nerf with Raza, but honestly, that's enough to kind of shape the whole deck. Don't think they're going to be running Velen anymore or anything like that. They're going to move away from Burst and maybe shift more towards just longevity, I think. We'll have to see, but yeah. Oh, another deck that's hit really hard is actually Tempo Rogue. Tempo Rogue ran all 3 of these as well, kind of like Zoo Warlock running Patches, Bonemare, and Creeper. Those are all going to be huge hits, and I think definitely have a strong feeling that Tempo Rogue is going to shift more towards an elemental direction. I still think it's going to be a strong deck. Zoo switching towards a demon direction, I still think that's going to be strong as well, but I don't think they're going to be as strong as they were pre-nerf. I think the top decks are going to be Q-Block because they weren't hit by any of these nerfs. Big Priest, again, not hit by any of these nerfs. And then Murloc Paladin, because Call to Arms is just, it's still such a strong card. And Murloc Paladin not hit too hard, just losing creepers. They didn't really run pirates, so it's not too big of a deal. I think the one way to kind of dethrone Q-Block, which I think is going to be the top deck, like the #1 deck, is maybe to Hall of Fame the Doom Guards. Is this something that can happen? Who knows? It's definitely an option if Q-Block just becomes insanely good and kind of just, if all we're seeing is Q-Block mirrors in high legend play, it's probably gonna get Hall of Famed. Not too happy about that, but hey man, that's just the direction things might be going. Once again, Murloc Paladin probably going to be strong because the Corridor Creeper hit is not too big, because Blessing of Kings, Maul, and Finja once again will fit just fine. And I think a lot of other control decks are going to start emerging, or kind of, I guess, re-emerging. Stuff like Miracle Rogue, maybe even Quest Rogue or Kingsbane Rogue is probably going to become a big deal again. Saps are pretty detrimental to Q-Block, because if they eat a Void Daddy and then you sap it back to their hand, it's kind of like a slap in the face for them, really. Vanish also really, really solid against Q-Block. Maybe some variation of Control Warrior will come out or something like that. I don't know. But I'm definitely very excited. I think this nerf is great. It's long overdue. and I just like a crazy meta. So once again, I would totally dust these cards, especially if you're tight on dust. If you know you're rolling in the dough, you don't want to craft any other legendaries, just go ahead and hold on to them. But I'm gonna be, I made creepers on my free-to-play deck, and I'm gonna be dusting those for a full refund, and just gonna be looking for a new cheap top deck. Maybe I make Living Manas and play Aggro Druid on it. I don't know, but that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, sub, and share, and all that. Follow me on Twitter. I do stream on Twitch, so be sure to watch me over there. And let me know what you guys think about the nerfs. What do you guys think are going to be the top decks? And what decks do you think are hurt the most from this nerf? And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.